Yeah, so to summarize, what she was asking was the path she's been on has been a more deliberate path and one that allows for integration and emphasizes the precepts. And so she's wondering if this approach is one that could be too fast, or it could be, I guess, destabilizing in some way. And so asking about that, I know you said a lot more. And to comment, yeah, just because someone experiences jhana doesn't necessarily mean that they're following the precepts or applying themselves. If they're not doing the heart practices, there can also be an edge that can develop too. So I'm a big fan of the precepts, and I think they're important to live by. So I think I'll include that. You know, all of our practice unfolds at the pace of the Absolute. We can take on practices and hope that there's a development and a stage or realization, but we don't control it. We can't say, I want to let go of the sense of self right now and have that happen. At least most people can't. So to me, there is a safeguard in the fact that in this process, we can't open into the Absolute unless we're willing to have a soft sense of self. We can't go in with a very determined sense of self. It won't open. So there's a safeguard there. And because it is the source, because it is who we are, when we make contact, we know we're home. We can feel that, and so there's a relaxation and a trust that builds. But again, in my observation, it only unfolds to the extent someone's ready. I've never known, as I mentioned, there has to be a yes for the portal of cessation to open. And if one isn't ready, the yes is not going to be there. So that's the safeguard that I see in terms of this. But to me, there's a lot of practitioners out there that have a lot of maturity, a lot of experience, and they have the capacity to open to this and hold it in a mature way. So that's why, to me, presenting it and making this available to people is important. Why else would it be activated in me where there can be a transmission, unless that was intended to be used? That's my perspective. And again, I don't take ownership of it at all. It's not an individual possession. It's just the way the Absolute functions. So to me, I think it's a lot of benefit to folks. And again, I've not seen anybody be harmed or forced in any direction. And there seems to be one won't open even to the vastness. The shikantaza won't develop if somebody needs to stay in a certain stage or level. But I'm certainly not in disagreement about the slow and steady path. If that appeals to people and it works, then that's wonderful. You know, I understand your teacher's perspective. One can get very deep access concentration through all the Buddhist practices. So that has a lot of benefit. I think jhana is an important feature, but I don't think it's essential. I don't teach it that much anymore simply because it's a small percentage of people that can access, that can open for, while this virtually everybody can open to. So it makes more sense to me to put my energy into this, into the awakening and into cessation, than it does into jhana practice, for example.